to know a little bit about your journey with the Macallan.
Yeah.
Cask, we fill the cask, and then obviously the minimum we have is 12 years, so we wait. So when we fill our casks with the spirit, we leave them. The whiskey makers do not talk, they don't look at the cask, they don't smell the cask until 8 years old. So really, 8 years is the first moment we interact with the cask. So even the whiskey makers, at some point, they don't see the cask at 5, they don't see what the whiskey is at 5 years old. That's why it's so rare. Because really the minimum is 8 years. So having a whiskey of 5 years is basically giving away the Macallan secrets. So that's why it's just as rare as the 84. So I'm glad you have this one, but it's absolutely spectacular. You see the big, do you have it on display? Did you
Yeah, I already have it.
That, if you do decide, please let me know and I will come and enjoy
Okay.
it. Let me know, I'll be
Okay.
there. So what I wanted to taste with you this evening is, in my opinion, some of our very unique rare whiskies. This one is called Horizon. Have you seen this one before?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, there was only 700 made. So a little bit more than this one. There was only 200 in the world at the time space. So this was a collaboration with Macallan and Bentley. It's essentially, I think, more than just a whiskey, it's a piece of art. Just like Time Space, just like the Reach. This is very interesting because it holds pieces of the Macallan history in the packaging. So in this copper that you see here is copper from the old Macallan stills. So we opened our new distillery in 2018.
Yeah.
Which is actually when we filled the 5-year-old whiskey. That's why it's so special, because it was the first spirit from our new stills in 2018. Prior to that, our old distillery, we had our beautiful stills. So we took stills from our old distillery, and this is stills from our old distillery. So really, like what you get to enjoy here is Macallan history in the packaging. This is a veneer from inside an old Bentley. Inside, I love to pull this out, it's very special. This is, first of all, the only bottle of whiskey in the world ever created on its side. Whiskey should never be kept on its side. Unlike wine you should always keep on your side to keep the cork wet. This you should never, because it's high alcohol, so it'll ruin it. But they redesigned the lid, the closure, to make it something you can have on its side. So this is the only bottle of whiskey on its side. This is aluminium from an old Bentley. Obviously, as you can see, it's very beautiful. Look, inside here is leather. Is leather from when they make a Bentley. The off-cuttings of the leather. This is leather from inside a Bentley. And then actually on the bottom here is an old Macallan cask. So when Kirsten Campbell, our master whiskey maker, made this, she said, how am I going to make this whiskey? This has got to represent Macallan and Bentley. So she went and she tried to find casks that embodied what Bentley really is. So when she went into the Bentley factory, she smelled like wood, so her father was a carpenter, a whiskey maker. So she loved this resinous wood and she wanted to have that in the Bentley. She smelled the leather from a brand new Bentley car. You smell the new Bentley, it smells heavenly. So she said that she needs to make this in the whiskey. So really, this is more than just whiskey. This is art in its own right. She made a whiskey that if you ever wanted to taste a brand new Bentley, this is it. So the whiskey actually tastes, in my opinion, like a new Bentley. It's all 100% European sherry casks. So if you know anything about the Macallan, European oak is dark, dried fruit, sweet spices, very traditional from Macallan. There's no American oak in here, it's all European oak, only 6 casks. Why 6? So 6 casks represent our 6 pillars. You know, our 6 pillars of the Macallan, so we wanted 6 casks for the 6 pillars. The percentage is 46.6 before the 6 number. And as I mentioned, the elements, the aluminium, the copper, the wood, the cast, the leather, the glass, all represent 6. So it's this combination of all 6. So the whiskey is 6 casks, and that was it, emptied 6 casks. So this is the first one you have, is you get to taste the Macallan Horizon.
Oh.
It is an incredible experience for the palate. So I'm going to ask you to take the lid off, and I'm going to show you how to nose. So please take your first whiskey. So what's very important when you taste, especially because it's very, very powerful, we're going to show you how to nose. There's a small trick. Always keep your mouth open whilst you breathe through your nose. So your mouth has to be slightly open while you're breathing. So you're allowing the whiskey to move up here through your olfactory, and then you're allowing it to escape out your mouth. This is a trick to taste whiskey with your nose. It's very powerful. So when you're nosing this, someone who you told me immediately you loved the Macallan for the finest sherry casks, this is all about the European sherry cask, so very traditional Macallan. If you love traditional Macallan, this is exceptional. So it's really got that, like, you're getting the leather, you're getting dark fruit, you're getting that fresh, the oak, the wood, the resinous wood. It's really, really interesting. Very intense. Again, 46.6, so it's got some power to it, but this is like a Bentley. Powerful in speed, but also luxurious. So as much as it has power, it also has a lot of elegance. So it's the balance of, as you see with the design, it's very abstract, powerful, but also with the Bentley, if you sit in a Bentley, you can speed, you can go very fast, but it also has massages in the back. So you're relaxing, but with power. So take the time to nose. The nose is spectacular. This is a very nice one. Normally with my clients, that when my clients buy this, they taste it. So you don't have it, but I'm going to give you a taste anyway. Just because it's something really unique. And again, for someone who loves unique things and has our rare collection, it's good for you to taste.
Okay.
So now on the palate. So in Gaelic we say slanger. So slanger. Slanger. So when you take a taste, let it sit on the palate for a few seconds. Okay? So we're going to take a sip, let it sit, and then the second sip. So slanger.
Slanger.
Really, really delicious. Very powerful. So that first sip opens the palate. You swallow and then let it sit for a minute. Let observe how it moves over the palate. I mean, again, it's like magic. Imagine you get to bottle a new Bentley and taste it. This is this. But the second sip is really weird. So take the second sip, and then we can discuss. Actually, can you pour me a couple of glasses of water so they can help?
진짜 고죽치고는 약간 힘이 되게 센 느낌이긴 하네요. 원래 이렇게 고죽 먹으면 되게 술이 잔잔한 느낌인데 술이 약간 더 약간 매콤하기까지 한 느낌인데.
네.
근데 이게 매콤하다는 게 부정적인 느낌이 아니라 되게 긍정적인 느낌인 거죠.
그쵸.
Thank you.
It is spicy, by the way. So actually, all the whiskies we're going to taste are quite spicy. This one's very spicy. The reason I'm showing you this one is because it was one of the it's our last edition. We've just launched actually, which if you're interested to taste it, I just arrived from Paris yesterday.
Yeah.
At 1 a.m. We launched Distill Your World Paris.
But I already taste about the Paris and
We just launched
007,
it. We just,
18.
we
Already
just launched
tasted.
Paris.
Yeah.
Like on
But already tasted.
when? Where?
I just already tasted.
In like just but not before Wednesday. After Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
After Wednesday, yeah.
After Wednesday.
Yeah.
See, I know because We were the first to taste it in Paris on Wednesday. So what did you think? Paris is delicious.
Yeah.
It has cognac cask.
Yeah.
I love Paris. Have you tasted Hong Kong yet?
No.
If you have, we don't have to taste it. Have you tasted it?
My
I haven't
friend,
tasted it.
yeah, my friend don't taste it.
You've tasted it.
Yeah.
This is very big. This is very big. The reason we're going to taste this one is because we have one Tree of Life left.
Yeah.
This isn't Tree of Life, obviously, but this was the kind of the more available release. So with the Tree of Life, there's only 112 bottles. Have you tasted this one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. But you haven't tasted this one.
Yeah, I never
Okay,
taste
so
this
there
one.
we go. You don't have, if you want to taste these, we can. I mean, they're there. But this was really it was extra. This was the. That's why I started with this. You know, some people, they do these tastings and then finish. No.
Yeah.
You want this to begin with. You want your palate to be tasting, in my opinion, like the magic first. So yeah, I'm glad you're taking your time with this one. So this one is Hong Kong. This one is Tree of Life.
Yeah.
It's good to taste them. And again, the only reason I was tasting this is to talk about the Tree of Life, which you already know about. So it's fantastic. Only 112 in the world, so it's actually a very collectible one.
Yeah.
And it was based on Charles René Mackintosh, the Tree of Life. Well, it was actually based on something called the Spirit of the Rose. The Spirit of the Rose was actually the original kind of a poem or lecture that Charles René Mackintosh gave. And then we released Tree of Life, and then Art is the Flower. But it was the one extract was Art is the flower, life is the green leaf. That was the excerpt. So we took that, we created this, but the Tree of Life was all about his transition. Just so you know, the reason why 46, why did we choose 46? So Charles René Mackintosh was is still the most famous artist and architect to come from Glasgow. So he's from Scotland. And if you go into Glasgow, and there's a place called the Willow Tea Room, you go in there, you see his architecture, and you see stained glass windows that look like this, right?
Yes.
That was his influence. Now, what happened though, and it was actually him and his wife, Margaret, and her sister and her husband, they were known as the Famous Four. That's why this is 50.4% ABV, because it's all about the Famous Four. He was known for his Art Nouveau. He created the Glasgow, like Nouveau, basically, a new type of art. At 46 years old, he gave up architecture. He gave up his whole style of everything that he was known for, and he went to the south of France and he started doing watercolours. So at that 46 years, it was a very big transition for this artist from Glasgow who left Scotland, and he went and he did watercolours. So that's why we chose 46, just so you know. It wasn't a random number. It was very tied to the story. And the reason we chose Charles René Mackintosh is because Macallan, everything we do is nurturing nature. It's all about the trees, it's all about making our own casks. 100% of the colour that you see and 80% of the flavour comes from the wood.
Yeah.
So we are nurtured in nature. You go to the estate, it's all about nature. Charles René Mackintosh, as you see roses, he was inspired by nature, and he left at 46 years and went into nature and was doing watercolours. So anyway, there's always different little stories behind the Macallan that you don't know, but that's why that one. So anyway, that one is a very special bottle. Mainly because there's a lot of story. Obviously the beautiful design. It's actually downstairs, we can show you the Tree of Life if you've not seen it. We have a bottle downstairs so you can look at it and see the beauty. But it's absolutely lovely. I love this. One of the things that people talk about is the fact it's no age statement, which is a little bit like everyone wants to know how old. You don't taste it. It doesn't need the age. When we make something special, sometimes it's actually better with no age, because the whiskey makers like Kirstine got to choose 6 casks. There's definitely some old whiskey in here, but it wasn't just about the age. Let's say she used 25, 35, 42, 51. It's a mixture, but to get the complexity to taste like a Bentley, to have the layers, She needed to use different. Now, if we are bound by the rules of Scotland, we have to say, if the youngest was 25, we'd have to say 25, which was not paying justice to maybe the 51-year-old whiskey in there. So I think there's something to say about that, but for me, it's a delicious whiskey. It's a beautiful bottle. It actually lights up, so this on a bar is lovely. But it's just something that, you know, I think people know about, people see. I'm sure, again, you've got beautiful bottles. I think it's just a special one for me to be able to give you, you know, it's a $50,000 bottle that not many people get to taste every day. So I thought, for a friend of the brand who obviously appreciates some of our finest bottles, this was a good whiskey to share with you. So, and what do you, so you like this, so one of the things you said, the spice. It is spicy, but because again, it's a non-age statement, she's been able to control the spice. It has to be spicy. It's brand new leather. It's a car. It's got power. Right. There had to be that level of spice because it's 100% European sherry casks. So you're going to get spice naturally, but with constraint. Again, it's that power with like elegance, and that's where the spice is like, I think, very, very beautiful.
진짜 맛있다.
한마디로
이야기를 열심히 들어줘서 고마워.
호라이즌의 후기를 한마디로
예,
해주세요.
호라이즌의 후기요.
네.
호라이즌의 후기는 밍밍할 뻔한 술을 제일 낮은 게 20몇 년이라 그러지 않았어요 지금?
25년부터 51년까지.
그러니까 밍밍할 뻔한 술을 25년이 힘차게 끌었다. 약간 그런 느낌 있잖아요. 이게 농촌에서 환갑인데 얘가 청년회장인 경우 있잖아. 네, 그런 느낌? 근데 이게 진짜로 막 그런 아예 고수기여가지고 오히려 물같이 느껴지는 것보다 훨씬 좋은 것 같아. 그러니까 막 그 옛날에도 막 그 스팸 같은 거 좋은 거 먹었을 때 뭐 25라고 써 있어도 이렇게 뭐지 막 30몇 도짜리 옛날 술 타가지고 맞추는 것처럼 그런 느낌이라는 거잖아. 그러니까 40도가 넘는 거지만 이제 거의 40.0이나 40.1이나
46.5요.
그러니까 46.5로 나왔지만 실제로는 뭐 50 몇 년짜리 원액은 40.1도나 이런 것들일 거 아니야.
Good.
그렇지 않나 싶어가지고.
You can taste these, but I think that if you are welcome to, it's on. Hold on, I'm so interested. Okay, so 3 questions. So it said you've got 3 of them.
Yeah.
Okay, it's so great to be connected with people who. This is my only job is to look after our fine and rare whiskey. So I'm very glad we're connected. Now you're here in this villa. This is one of a kind villa. Whenever you want to come, obviously you go to Tivus, but this is a home for you to come to whenever you need to.
Okay.
Sadly, there's no bedrooms, so you can't sleep.
Yeah, I've been there.
You can't sleep here, unfortunately. We've done that. And again, so where did
With Steven.
Bremner? In the distillery.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, 100%. Good.
Yeah.
Did you go to the launch on Wednesday? Oh, okay. Because we had the launch the same day, and then you were there for the Trinita Romantica.
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic. Good to know. Oh, I literally left Wednesday morning to go and do the Paris launch.
yeah.
So we couldn't be in the same place at the same time, but okay, good to know. Fantastic. This is amazing. Lovely. Okay, so this is now we're very familiar. Lovely. Okay, I really liked it. Again, this is Hong Kong. If you want to taste it, I mean, I'm sure you want to keep this in your palate.
Yeah, this one's already so nice.
Isn't it so good?
Yeah, so good.
But can I tell you, people with this one, there's apprehension because they're like, oh, it's a pretty bottle, there's no age statement. No, like I think it's like such a beautiful whiskey, but people are like a little bit like not knowing. Like, again, not everyone is opening them to taste. So this is why my favourite thing to do with clients who you've tasted some of our nicer whiskies. This is like a secret one to like taste because it's drinkable. It's something you want to enjoy. So anyway, I'm glad this was our first interaction together,
Okay.
and I gave you something you haven't tasted yet.
Okay.
So I'm feeling happy. Are you? Did you enjoy?
Yeah, we just do it a lot.
Good. It makes me very happy. Is it one of your favorites?
Yeah, this one is way better than the rich.
I really. I understand your palate. It's very interesting to know because when you do get older whiskies, there's two types. There's peat smoke, right? So it's coming from peat, or there's wood smoke. Different. I would say there is an element, not smoke here, but like it's very rich and dense. So it has like a wood smoke, but not a peat smoke.
Yeah.
So you got the peat smoke from the reach, and that's why it wasn't to your liking. Interesting. This is fascinating conversation for me. Well, I'm glad you tasted this, so now you know. Now you know. So this is, so you like that very, have you, I'm sure you had,
아니야, 앰 맛없잖아.
do you like the copper? Okay, I'm being told we have to go downstairs. There's lots more for us to taste during the evening. It's such a pleasure.
Okay.
It's such a pleasure to meet you, to talk about the things that not everyone gets to taste.
Okay.
One of my favourites was, oh hello. One of my favourites that I tasted was the 52-year-old.
Okay.